We could hear from Special Counsel Jack Smith on Trump's claims of immunity in the federal election case that's now before the Supreme Court. The justice is there tackling a question with massive consequences for the future of our democracy. Can a former president be held accountable for criminal conduct committed while he is in office or not? It's a question that a long list of retired generals warn could have huge consequences for our military. In a brief to the Supreme Court, they write this today, quote, "The petitioner's theory that the president is absolutely immune from criminal prosecution, if accepted, has the potential to severely undermine the commander-in-chief's legal and moral authority to lead the military forces, as it would signal that they, but not he, must obey the rule of law." And they add that unless Trump's immunity appeal is rejected, quote, "we risk jeopardizing America's standing as a guardian of democracy in the world and further feeding the spread of authoritarianism, thereby threatening the national security of the United States and democracies around the world." Wow, we're back with Andrew and Claire. So, Andrew, it's one thing, right, coming from participants in politics, people who've worked in the executive branch, served in the Senate, served at the Department of Justice at the highest levels. It's a whole other thing. Let me read the list of members who signed this. Admiral Steve Abbott, Admiral Thad Allen, former Secretary of the Army Louis Caldera, General George Casey, General Pete Corelli, General Carlton Fulford, General Michael Hayden, former Secretary of the Air Force Deborah Lee James, Admiral Samuel Jones Locklear III, former Secretary of the Navy Ray Mabus, General Robert Magnus, United States Marine Corps, General Craig McKinley, United States Air Force, Admiral John B. Natham, United States Navy, Admiral Bill Owens, United States Navy, Admiral Scott Swift, General Charles F. Wald, saying that if a president can be found, immune and not accountable, that it endangers U.S. national security and endangers the military.
Two thoughts, one legal and one maybe just big picture. The legal one is this is the military saying, in addition to the pieces that you quoted from, Nicole, saying, and I'm going to quote, "The notion that defiance of the commander-in-chief's illegal orders is the backstop against his criminal behavior is not what the Constitution provided for." In other words, what they're saying is you're going to have a system where you're counting on the military to say no to the president when he gives illegal orders such as killing his political adversaries. That is the position that Donald Trump is advocating, and you have the military saying this. And the big picture is Donald Trump is telling you now who he is, not who he will be when he is president. He is saying that is his position as to how this country should be run, where he can actually have the military carry out these illegal orders of killing adversaries. And the military would have to follow. And this is the military saying, we do not want to be in that position because he may be immune, but we have a problem following that. We are not going to be carrying out those orders, and the Supreme Court should not be making that the position of a constitutional democracy. So this is an incredible showdown in the Supreme Court as to who we are. And I sort of beat this drum a lot. It is not about who Donald Trump is saying he will be as the next president. It is who he is saying now. His view of what a democracy is that there are no checks on him, and that the military has to carry out these blatantly illegal orders that would get them they would be and have criminal exposure, but he, the president, would not.
Claire, he did it already. He did it to the Department of Homeland Security, to border officials. And I remember the story breaking. I was about to go on the air. It was the 356 or something. It was a story by Annie Carney in the New York Times in 2018. And the story went something like this, that he promised people pardons if they carried out his illegal orders when it came to to how to treat human beings at the border. He has done it already as president. And I sometimes wonder if we live in a country anymore where former government officials can break through. I think the jury's out on that when you look at Trump's sort of vibrant support among his base. But we haven't tested that with generals being out in a sustained way. And I wonder, not just legally, but politically, if this has an impact.
Well, I think it does. And I'm a little disappointed the list was not longer. I'm a little disappointed that General Kelly is not on that list and that Jim Mattis is not on that list and Mark Esper is not on that list. It would have been stronger if some of the high-ranking military officials that saw this firsthand, where he would try to get them to do things that clearly were not good for national security and not legal. He tried to get them to act politically. And, you know, I think everybody needs to take a breath here and realize we're pretty proud of our democracy in America. I don't care if you're for Trump or for anybody else. I think most people are proud of America. What he is asking America to turn into is those countries that we've always looked sideways at and thought, well, how could that happen? How could the military be protecting thugs and crooks and a corrupt government? How can the military be arresting innocent people and putting them in prison because they're a political opponent? That would never happen in America. That's what Donald Trump is asking for. He is asking for that ability. And Andrew nailed it. I mean, for the military to be put in a position that either you follow your commander or you don't. And if you don't follow your commander, you're following the law. And if you do follow your commander, you're breaking the law. That should be a breaking point for this country. And this case should be decided 9-zip. I dare Alito and Clarence Thomas to actually say in written form that a president can break the law and nothing can be done. I dare them, because that would really be the bottom of the frickin' barrel.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.